Hey, folks, Ben and Charles here. You there? This is the Sunday night hanging right here on, Sunday, right here on my channel. Please subscribe if you're new. Welcome back if you're returning, of course. Hit the like, share us around. We don't mind at all. Welcome back, my good friend Charleas Greene.
What's going on, everybody? I hope you guys are doing well, man. It's 10 days till Christmas?
Jeez,
don't panic. Pace yourselves. Pace yourselves. It's going to be all right.
I forgot. I should probably start on the shop. Well, I got one stop to do all the shopping, so fortunately, it's not the music store, Charles. But
I was honest the other night on my show. I said, I procrastinated this year. I literally am placing orders like tomorrow. I'm ordering some stuff. But what I did, Ben, is I took after Christmas until the 1st. And even a couple of days beyond, just to give myself a buffer. And I've just said, listen, Christmas is going until like maybe even the 3rd of the new year. Because the mail.
Yeah, I do. Ours has been on strike for the last month. So,
well, our post office here, they're overwhelmed. They are, but good God, they make a lot of mistakes, errors. I received my daughter received a package the other day. It was in a rigid, kind of a hard-backed, sort of a backing on it. It was maybe kind of like that, maybe 11 by 14. But it was sensitive. It was a document. And they took that sucker, man. They folded that thing right over in half and shoved it in the mailbox. Yeah, what are you going to do, man? What are you going to do? Right. But you know what? It's good to see you guys. I don't see enough of you guys. I haven't seen my Water Buffalo brothers in a minute.
Say hey in the chat, folks, and we'll do roll call momentarily.
Yeah, it's right on.
You have been missed. I'm just saying. I know you've been busy. But folks, in case you didn't know, I was going to wait. But Friday nights, someone has a bit of a live show situation. More often than not, we'll say, and it's quite entertaining. Speaking of entertaining, we got 32 people in here thus far. I want to shout out first in the chat, 1:15 this afternoon. We got Earl asking what we're drinking tonight. I have an A&W root beer, Earl.
I'm rocking a Monster, my brother, right there.
Nice. And we got our good friend Chris, a.k.a. Unfucking Believable.
Right on.
Not a cop.
You rock. Right on, guys.
And there we got Terry's 3Gs, moderator of the stars.
Right on, Terry.
Awesome. Good old Ferd Burfel. Sir William of the Bologna the Third. But his friends call him Billy.
Billy, right on, Billy.
We got Searchin' for
right on, bro.
Tone. Oh, because we got that.
Right on, man.
We got L Barge. Don't call me I Barge unless you're Pete Thorne. What's up, Lee?
Right on, L Barge. You rock, brother. Good to see you.
We got our good friend Paul McNary.
Paul, dude.
Great to see Brother Paul. Last week's guest, Brother Jim, our in-house amp expert. Great to see Jim.
Jim is so interesting. You know what? He's a fellow Water Buffalo. And it's priceless just sitting back and when he's talking about freaking capacitors and ohms and a lot of it's like right here, you guys.
Right we just all fall silent and we're just like, oh, Jim's holding court.
And I gotta say it interests me, even though I don't fully understand. I mean, I get a little bit of it, which makes it.
Hey, I've had him on half a dozen times, and I still don't get it, Charles. So it's okay.
Yeah. I almost want to find an amp, a tube amp, to ship to him, to have him look at it, just to have the conversation with him about the damn tube amp.
Right.
I would love so much.
If he does a mod or something, I'm waiting for the special JP Page 2 mod.
Yeah.
I don't know what it does, but I'm sure it's going to be awesome. And we got Brother Ed in the chat.
Ed, you rock.
Great to see Ed. He was hanging out with the OU crew there earlier. And we got this guy, Christopher Sova.
My brother, man, Christopher, right on.
Only guy I know that would drive all the way from Michigan to North Carolina. Well, we know why.
So much
he came
fun.
to see you. Wasp happened to be in town.
Oh, we had so much fun. And Armored Saint I'm standing with those two guys. I'm having flashbacks. I remember those boys when they were flipping young.
Right.
Armored Saint was a staple in Hollywood and Los Angeles. I can remember walking down many a street, because you had to do a lot of walking in those days, guys, especially when I was young. And you would see it. Their fans, their groupies would just plaster the street of telephone poles about 10 feet up in the air, just high enough so no one could reach up and rip it off.
Right.
And they would just there. You'd see flyers for their next show and gig constantly just plastered everywhere. We had an absolute magic YouTube time, and it was priceless.
Nice. We got Hip Metalworks in the house. Great to see Hip.
It's good to see you, Hip Metal. Right on, brother.
We got the Dark One himself, BC Rich 581.
I like that. Right on, BC Rich. You rock, bro.
Fellow Canuck, Patrick Trites.
You rock, Patrick. Right on, brother.
Who else do we have here? Oh, there's Michael Krause.
Michael. You rock.
And a good friend, Jason, a.k.a. Gear Junkie 35.
Right on, Jason.
Scrolling on through because they're all very polite and talking to each other. Hey, there's Trev.
Trevor. Right on, man.
Trev.
It's good to see you, Trevor. Right on.
Jeff K in the house.
Jeff, you rock. Right on.
We got Joe McGraw.
Right on, Joe.
Let's see here. We got Eston Ray in the house.
Right on, Eston. Nice to meet you,
Steve
man.
Rezer. Dang it. He told me last week on Charles' show, and I forget.
He told you last week. I had it all down pat, but I have heard it said so many different variations since then.
Right.
I think it's Rezer. I call him Steve Rezer.
I like that.
That's what I've been
see.
calling
Yeah,
him.
like I asked him at the Buffalo meeting. I said, "How do you say your name?" And he went, "Steve." And I went,
That's messed up, Steve.
But that's why we like. And there's a good friend, Bo, Guitar Man 45.
Right on, Bo. It's good to see you, brother. Right
And if I lose my voice tonight, folks, it's been happening the last couple nights. I've been losing my voice a bit. So
it's going around, guys.
Yeah, I blame my sister because I haven't been sick in years, Charles, and she needed a bunch of running around as she does, and she's like, I've been sick for a week. I'm like, are you feeling better? She goes, yeah, but not all the way. I said, well, wear a mask. She says, I don't want to wear a mask. And I'm like, well, then talk out the window. Don't look at me when you're talking to me. So now I'm sick, I think. I'm coming down with something to see. Time Surf Naily on. Great to see you.
Time Server, right on, bro. It's good to see you, man.
Good friend Milt T in the house.
Milt T, right on, dude. Right on, man.
See Milt. Milt was letting me know that he works at the casino in Windsor, Caesars Windsor, as it were. They got ZZ Top coming through in the spring with the Wallflowers.
Wow.
That'd be a good show.
It would be so cool still to see. Billy Gibbons, that Telly that he plays. I'm kind of interested in Tellys now. Well, in fact, you know what? I'll come back to that, Ben. I'll come back to it. Billy Gibbons, we'll be talking about Tellys in a little bit. So,
I was planning. That was my one bit of research. I was planning on bringing up the Telly conversation tonight. Based on previous announcements that you may have made on other channels. I'm just saying. We got a good friend, Monk.
Right on, Steven. Right on, bro.
Dan Gorman in the house.
Dan, you rock, brother. Right on, Dan.
And Blue Mox.
Blue, right on, man. It's good to see you, bro.
Blue Mox. Did I say hey to Hobo Roadie? I know I put him up on screen. I don't know if I actually said hey, but the
I
Hobo
have
Roadie.
not said hello to him yet. It's good to see you, Hobo.
Great
right
to see
on,
him,
bro.
Aloha to Victor Beebe.
It's good to see you, Victor.
You do, yeah. Okay, so that's where I know where I am in the chat. Yeah, I keep thinking. Yeah, I know. No, see now that's just troll. Ship him and Mason. No. It's Wayne McConnell.
It's good to see you, man. Unfucking believable. Right?
So Wayne won a prize yesterday over at Sean Pierce Johnson's holiday live stream.
Very cool. Right on.
Yeah. There's our good friend Matt. He's been sick. But
right on,
good
man.
to hear,
it's
Matt.
good to see you. Feel better, brother. Man, it
Dana
is
of
going
New Jersey's here.
Dan, right on, bro.
Scroll. This is my speaker. What's up, speaker?
Right on, man.
So there's Michael B.
Michael. It's good to see
you.
you.
He's dipping in. He's just dipping in, which is fine. Tom Raines. What's up, Tom?
Tom, right on, right on.
And Zach Thong. Oh, wait,
Zach.
and Eddie Faye.
Oh,
now we're caught up. Only took
right
10 minutes.
On. Right on. So once again,
And Ed's brother is absent.
Yeah, I was gonna say Charles 75 and haven't seen him yet.
He's taking the weekend off. So
once again,
the guy doesn't even respond to my texts lately, so I don't know.
Hey, he'll get back to you. I'm sure of that. He's that kind
of.
No,
I was just trolling him with stupid memes, anyways, because that's what I do.
You mean harassing him? Excellent.
Yes,
torment. Better word.
Well, the last one was, how do bald people know when to stop? How high do they go when washing their face? And I went, valid question. How high do you go as a bald person before you stop washing your face and you're just now washing the top of your head?
That would just depend on the receding, how much your hairline's receding.
That's what I'm thinking.
I would say that nowadays when I wash my face, I'm covering more now until I get to the hair, but I don't want to get my hair all wet. Right. These are real life issues, real life problems.
This is it, folks. This is it.
Yep. Hey, I noticed there's like a dozen people that I've never heard of before once again in your channel chat. It's nice to meet all you guys. I'm used to seeing a lot of the regular people. We call them the regulars, and I love all you guys, but it's nice meeting all you guys I've never met before. It's very cool.
Yeah.
It's always a pleasure to come here and talk with Ben. Me and Ben, when we get together, we always have a lot to catch up on.
Always.
It's always cool. We always, we talk about everything when I come on here.
Yep.
I've already seen one question, Ben. Let me go back. Your chat is just rocking, dude.
I know.
I saw a question, and I'm going to paraphrase because I'm going to be doing this from memory because I can't find it. Oh, wait a minute. I found it. Unfucking believable. No, actually, this is from Unfucking Believable. For me, what question have you never been asked that you thought you would have by now? I don't hear photograph questions very often. I had a storage locker like 25 years ago. I went through a really shitty marriage, and I had a storage locker that had an orange Nike high tops box with 5 pounds of photographs in it. Unbelievable fucking photographs, guys. It has flown the way of the dodo. So I have reached out to some friends from high school, guys that used to hang with me in Hollywood. A couple of them were like photo nerds, into cameras. They had Canon F1s and Minotos and everything was 35 millimeter with the hot shoe, all that shit. And multiple lenses, Dave.
Back when you had to have talent to take a photograph.
Well, yes. And so these two friends of mine I'm talking about, and Ralph Oshiro is the other one. Ralph is actually a cameraman right now for CBS. Oh. And he was the quintessential camera nerd. Shot for the yearbook, shot for the school newspaper.
Right.
Okay, had a dark room in his house. Not one, but 2 enlargers. It was doing color and sepia tone, all kinds of stuff. Well, I used to let him and Dave in the side door at the Whiskey. They've been to parties with me up on the hill. They've been to Michelle Noval's. David Schmitz was with me at Michelle Noval's with Robin Crosby. He has pictures from what I understand. And so to your question, my brother, I am working really hard on grabbing a handful of memories from the past that will be priceless and you guys will thoroughly enjoy. And so that's just a logistics thing. We're trying to locate Dave. My friend John Cochran, he's living in New Mexico right now, living an incredible life right now in a little fishing town on the Gulf. Anyway, I'm going down a rabbit hole. I'm reaching out for that. And so answering that question, that is something that I, number one, haven't heard a lot about, and number two, am working on for various reasons. Various reasons.
I like that. Well, first of all, the
yeah.
thumbnails for the live shows would be great. I'm just saying, like, as someone who has gone through his own back catalog to use for thumbnail usage. That used to be the big thing when I was gigging. Fortunately, we already had social media, so I could actually put out, like, you set up these events, like, Facebook event, you invite all your friends on Facebook, blah, blah, blah. And you'd always be posting the day after in the show. Anybody get photos of our set last night? And inevitably, and boom, then somebody got video. Ooh, great.
I used to carry a 410, was what it was called, the little flat pocket camera with the flash. I did that for a couple of years.
Sure.
I had film in one of those cameras sit in a drawer for 10 years and never touched it. It went bad. Just knowing it, I kept saying, well, I need to take that in, need to take it in. But life caught up with me. I had other stuff to do, and I honestly didn't realize I'd be here doing this at this point in time, like most of us. So,
really wasn't. I don't know what I was expecting when I started doing the YouTube thing.
Just scan emails, boom, boom, build a picture book. Yeah, Eddie Fay, right on, brother. Just looking at Eddie's post here. Yes, I'm looking to. I don't know exactly what the end result of all this is going to be.
Well, you need pictures to go with the autobiography.
Yeah.
Chris has been asking for 3 years or whatever.
Even 5 or 10, which is very possible at this point. 5 or 10 pictures from the past with handfuls of different characters. Some really cool. You guys would be like, no way. But some of them are just regular. Way. Well, some other ones are just regular people who were there for this or there for that, who all have a story. It's priceless. It's priceless stuff. So that's it. But going on from that, we like to play a lot of guitar around here nowadays.
Speaking of which, should we circle back to the Telecaster?
Well, yeah, I got a couple of questions. I really do. And here's one of them. I have all the original parts for this guitar. It's a Mexican Tele. It's a little older than 25 years. It's been dismantled for 25 years is when it came into the possession of my son-in-law. It was damaged. Just to tell the backstory real quick, it was damaged, and it's set in a box, essentially, for 25 years. Until a couple of weeks ago, I pulled it out, and you can see it's just, he stripped it down. It was this color. It was black. And what happened to it is it hit the floor and had blunt force trauma on this lower quadrant right here, and it was all shattered. And on the front and everything, it was just messed up. And so, you know how it is when you're young, and I'm talking about my son-in-law. He didn't know. In his mind, he thought, well, I'll just strip it down, take that crack stuff off. And he actually is in a woodworking environment. He works for a shop that builds custom cabinetry now. And so he's really embarrassed because at the time he did this, he was just a kid, okay? He was a little kid. And so this was like shame. And I looked at him, I said, well, you know what? I'll give that thing a life. The neck on it is totally cool. These Tele necks have this, you can see the gloss on it. I don't know exactly what that is, Ben. You can tell me. You see it on, I don't know if you can see it. A little bit of it's just chipped. You see it? Mm-hmm. You see it on the right down here?
Yep.
So what do you call that? What do you call that coating that's on here? There's a name.
Just be a clear coat.
A clear coat. Okay, so the clear coat is chipped on a little bit of it, but that's like it. The frets are perfect.
Which is no big deal, especially for those who like a certain guy that played striped guitars because he scraped all that crap off his maple fretboards.
I just want to say it won't slow me down one skip. Not a problem. So this is my first Tele. I don't know anything about Teles, you guys. I know this is Mexican Tele because it says so, and you guys said it was. I had the pick guard off it, and Charles 75N.
Hey, Steve Brand.
Steve, it's good to see you, brother. Charles 75N, it's got 3 holes here. It's got one large one and two small ones, and he said that means that it's a Mexican Mexican Tele. Do you want to see it? You want me to pull this off real quick? And
I know what you're talking. No, it's the bigger holes for the pin router. It basically it's like the anchor point for it to do all its work.
I figured it had something to do with anchoring the body.
Because I have one too, and I didn't know what it was until I took the pickguard off, and I asked to my YouTube viewers several years ago, and that's the overwhelming response I got.
Okay. So.
And yeah, it would be a polyester. Yeah. Fenders use poly pretty much exclusively since 68, 69.
Okay.
With that
so it's a poly on it. I
get it.
As opposed to like do they now nitrous coatings, is that mainly for bodies? Would they put nitrous on a neck? I don't know.
They would use nitro paint exclusively until the end of 67.
I didn't mean nitrous. Nitro.
And then they switched over to a polyurethane in 68 is my understanding. Other than you can still custom order, like your custom shop Tele you can get with a nitro paint job. And what they do quite often for that, because based in California with environmental laws, is they'll ship your body and neck down to Ensenada, shoot the nitro there, and then ship it back and then for assembly.
Okay. Well, the body's going to Charles. I've got 2 T-shirts ordered. Actually, 3. And we're going to keep the band name kind of secret right now. I've never played one of those songs.
I'm already thinking there's only one T-shirt to go on it. Starts with a W and ends in Alan. So without giving it, but that was my first thought. Big old whale. It's like, but I don't know. It could be. But then, I'm just saying, there's a few guys that that may have chicken picked on a Telecaster in their time, or the fact that it was one of the OG rock guitars. Elvis's. No, Elvis's players playing Gibson. But there was some early players that played Teles as well.
Well,
the Osmond, Hey, 6-string Stanger. What's up, Dave?
Right on, Dave. It's good to see you, bro. I'm kind of at a crossroad. I don't know if I want to keep it. I have everything, but I told you guys before, I have all of the original hardware except for 2 of the brass string through grommet. I guess you call them grommets. I'm not. What do you call them? Barrels. So
those
assembly of the guitar.
Those are no big deal to replace. They're not exactly unique for that time period.
No, they're not. And I probably, I have if I needed them, but I'm going to order something that matches. I'll get a brand new set probably is how it's going to go. And in fact, I'm sure that's how it's going to go. But
Mike Ever the Troll. So Charles doing a whale and Tele? Easy.
No, here. Watch this one. Watch this one, brother. So I was talking to Charles. And what he's going to do is the pick guard on the front of a Tele takes up basically half of the surface of the body. Approximately. Not quite, but close to it. And
that's right.
So what we're going to do is we're going to
blame me for that. Charles wasn't really a Tele guy until he met me.
He knows a lot about Teles. He's going to take. We're swapping out the white pick guard for a clear pick guard.
That is the way to go in one of his custom jobs.
I'm getting in touch with Willie Houston at Rocket Pickups, and I'm gonna pick his brain first, let him know what I'm planning on doing, and then ask him to make me a set of custom pickups for this guitar. Because I don't do country. I respect the hell out of it. I'm not a big chicken picker, although I kind of half-assed know how to do it, and I'm so bad at it. That's why you've never seen me do it. And I respect the hell out of it. But I do 80s hair metal primarily. That's my stuff. And then I will veer back to the 70s and even the 60s. But all my stuff is rock.
My input on that would be, Charles, a lot of people will lean you towards a hot set of pickups, like some Twisted Teles, stuff like that, higher output. Which they're basically the same output as a PAF humbucker, like a 7.5 output.
Okay.
Go the opposite route. Don't go low output. Low output is glassy. It's classic.
So And I'm glad you said that, because I'm not looking to make this a hot rod.
Right.
I'm looking to make it in the genre of music I play, but I want fat quality of tone. I'm looking for amazing pickups. I want to be able to play on the neck pickup and have that thing just, I
Well,
want
those
to
are too
punch.
hot, Terry.
Ironically,
I've
talking about,
never used a Seymour Duncan pickup for a single coil, Terry. That's just me.
I,
We were talking about that the other night, like the two biggie, like DiMarzio and Seymour Duncan. Nope. Honestly.
okay, so Terry, I'm familiar with the Bonamassa Tele set. I don't hate it. I like the concept of it. They're really nice. Look, they're well-rounded. They're well-rounded pickups. They sound, depending on what you're playing them through, really does matter as well. How you're dialing that in. Every guitar is distinct. Every set of pickups is distinct. When I first had my Motley Crue guitar, that's got a custom pickup in it. That pickup, when I first initially got it, it sounded like shit. I had it wired wrong, and all the parameters that I had set for a crummy pickup, it took me a minute to realize, no, you need to dial all this stuff back and clean it all up, and then start adding these effects again to it. Because with a good quality pickup, I found, and correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of the character, when you've got a high quality pickup, comes out without having to put a lot of juice on it. You don't need a lot of chorus to get a chorus effect out of it. You don't need a lot of, for dirt. Night and day, man, I dialed everything, and I changed the parameters on my noise gate.
Mm-hmm.
That changed too. Those came down. They came down because if a pickup's a quality pickup tip, yeah. I don't know if this goes across the board, but this is how it worked for me. So
yeah. I would recommend a set of Lindy Fralin pickups.
Lindy Fralin.
Part of the conversation, and the reason being, Charles, is because for decades at this point, anybody that had a vintage Telly and the pickup went shitty on it, you sent your pickup to Lindy to rewind it to put back in the guitar. So if he's rewinding all the vintage Blackguard Telly pickups, his production ones are going to be on par with that. That's what I would recommend. Lindy Fralin out of Nashville, beginning and end of conversation.
Interesting.
Yes, Chris Shiflett does play Tellys, but his are all humbucker and usually P90, his newest one.
Well, Tellys are, and I'm not talking like I know, because I don't. This is my first Telly, and I'm literally just. But what I've been doing for years has been watching different guys play Tellys and different genres of music use Tellys. For instance, I used to enjoy watching Blondie play in L.A. and her guitar player, he killed it with a Telly, and I can remember his live tone. It was distinct and unique. Playing through those Vox, the AC, what is it, AC30? It makes it just it made a distinct sound.
What's up, Ike?
So, but then on the flip side, hey, what's going on, man? Right on. On the flip side, very cool. But at the same time, like John 5, he plays a modded Telly. It's not anything. There's nothing traditional there. It's fully custom. It's dual humbuckered.
My main Telly is a dual humbucker, heavily modded.
Yeah, and I was going to go to that. That was my next. That was the next thing I was going to say.
Han just mentioned he got the Custom Shop Texas specials, which are similar to Twisted Tellys, and he says you dig them 8 or 9K. Again, high output, but the problem is with those, like if you're going for that traditional glassy sound, you'll never get it because you can't clean. They're putting out too much. And basically you're better off getting a low output set and then using a clean boost, which will get you to that 8 or 9K. Basically, you can't take away the gain stage that's there right out of the pickups. Basically, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and my typical tones, I'm not really going to go there. I'm excited to play the darn guitar. Telly necks are unique. A lot of guys put Strat necks on Tellys because I guess that's a mod. That's a mod that you can do that works. But going the other direction, putting a Telly neck on a Strat doesn't work, right?
Yes and no, because one has a rounded bottom and one has a squared off heel. and so they never quite fit
go.
right. You can put one on, but it doesn't quite fit right.
Also, I noticed something when I took the pick guard off where the neck pocket is. There's these two little rounded things that stick out into the body more. What's up with that? I've never seen that before. Is that just is that like unique with mech? You know what I'm talking about, right? Right where the neck fits into the pocket. You can see there's, it's nice and tight everywhere except on the neck where the neck comes up to where the pickup is. There's two little crescent moons showing where you can look down in there.
For ease of fit and finish in case there's some paint
build
up.
I have no idea. I've never seen it before. Not even on a real, cheap, inexpensive guitar have I seen anything like it. So I guess it's a Tele thing. I mentioned it to Charles, and he was just like, I don't know,
I'm surprised he didn't text me because that's what he usually does.
He said it was a Tele thing. It's a Tele thing. He knew a lot about Teles.
Usually for fit and finish. Ease of use, so you don't have to get everything exact because they may have been at that time not as quite as high tolerance with the CNCs. They're getting so good now. It's like, hey, we get within a 64th. Well, now we can get within a hundredth of an inch. Now they're within a thousandth of an inch. The tolerances are getting down to almost metal work tolerances, which is insane when working with wood.
Ferd Burful, we got a Squire Tele a few years ago, took the single coils out and installed Guitar Fetish hot rails in it. Love the way it sounds. I've listened to Guitar Fetish hot rails on a couple of videos. Those are cool. The thing about it is Charles is going to put a clear pick guard on. The cavity on the Tele, when you take the pick guard off, is routed. It looks like two humbuckers with a channel that comes down to where the pots go. You know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. So it's
also, I noticed you flipped the control plate on your Tele.
Nope, that's how it was when I got it. And I wondered if it was backwards. I was going to say question I was going to ask.
So, I'm going to say that is the number one mod Tele players do, which is because some people hit the selector while they're playing. So you flip that around.
Get it out of the way further.
So you have the knobs first, and then you get the selector out of the way.
You know what? I didn't know that, but I like it. And I'd be the guy, my big old fingers would hit it. And maybe that's how it was.
That's the stock.
Okay, that's how it's stock, right? So maybe that's how it was when Jake got it, when he disassembled it.
But like I say, that's a common part. And it fits because it is symmetrical. There you go, Trev. You can flip the pit, like you don't have to mod any. It's not like you're doing any new. Well, you can do the volume swells even from here with it modded. It's most people because they'll just hit the switch while playing. So
which one would you flipping it over? Which one would you make the volume and the tone? Would you keep the volume?
Well,
up front?
You would still have your volume more forward. You still leave the
way
tone
forward,
which I think.
Okay.
If you're modding it, you're pretty much limited to that because there isn't enough extra wire to flip the tone all the way from here to here. You have just enough to move them. Just.
Okay.
Mark?
Okay. All right. Well, it's
not much easier for volume swells, but it's easier for doing a wah effect because you've moved your tone to here. So then if you do a volume swell like you would a tone swell, it's basically like using a wah pedal.
Interesting.
That's all a wah pedal
That's something I've never really learned to do. In fact, wah pedals, I've played with them. A wah pedal is something you gotta play with a wah pedal. You gotta interact with the thing for a period of time to fully understand.
And then it just becomes an extension after a while.
Yes, and then you need it, right? Because I've had friends who use wah pedals, but personally, wah pedals are something that I have two of them, and I've used them a bit, but I wouldn't consider myself like great at using a wah.
I never really used them myself, Charles, because ironically, every band I was ever in was with two guitar players, and the other guitar player had one. So, what am I going to do? The one time I take a lead break, I'm going to play a wah like the other guy does? No.
Well, I love I'm into Dirty Honey big time. I love Dirty Honey. I think they are just one of the most straight up great breaths of fresh air to come into rock and roll, especially pushing old school 3-piece, sort of a power trio, kind of a hard rock vibe.
That's weird.
John Notto, he plays a Les Paul. He has 2 half stacks there. I was trying to figure out from his pedal board. In fact, I'd said on a show before, because Fruitcake Tony and I went to a show at the Ritz.
I believe you, Steve, but I've done it on literally 70s, well, early 70s through modern ones. But he's saying like the back, sometimes you got to route out the inside a little more to allow for the switch. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, you're fine, brother. You're fine. All need to know stuff right here. And I was looking at his pedal board, and he did the whole half-cocked wah thing.
Right.
And his tone was so Marshall half stack, half-cocked wah.
The Mick Ronson.
Dude, right in your face.
Right in your face. Wah, for me, it's Mick Ronson, you know.
Yeah, it's yes.
But speaking of cocked wahs,
Mick kicks ass, man.
Time. Now, did you want to play something for us, perhaps?
Hey, you know what? Yeah, we play guitar around here, you guys.
Yeah. And since I'm no longer monetized on Sundays, folks, which because it's powered by you guys on donations, hence cough virtual tip jar. That's why you don't see ads at the beginning of the show, and if you're watching on replay, you don't see ads during the show.
Can you hear that?
I can hear that.
Good. Let's hold that thought. Let me just play a quick song. I'll see you guys.
Some Canadian content, no less.
That's how we roll, babe.
Now I gotta figure out how Trev does this stuff. Yes, and like over here. See, I there you go, Trev.
Girlfriend's a dick magnet. My girlfriend gotta have it. She's hot, can't stop up on stage doing shots. If the man will ring the bell, get her drunk, she'll scream like hell. Dirty girl getting down, dance with guys from out of town. Grab her ass, acting tough, mess with her, she'll fuck you up. No one really knows that she's drunk or if she's down, but she's coming back to my place tonight. She likes to shake her ass, she climbs her to the beat. She likes to pull my hair when I'm making gratitude. I like to strip her down. She's 90 to the edge. You know what she is, no doubt about it. She's a bad, bad girlfriend. Red song parties on, love the song, sing along, come together, leave alone, see you later back at home. No one really knows if she's drunk or if she's down, but she's coming back to my place tonight. I say no one really knows just how far she's gonna go, but I'm gonna find out later tonight. She likes to shake her ass, she climbs her to the beat. She likes to pull my hair when I make her gravity. I like to strip her down. She's 90 to the edge. You know what she is, no doubt about it. She's a bad, bad girlfriend. It doesn't take her long to make things right, but doesn't make her wrong to have the time of her life. The time of her life. My girlfriend's a dick magnet. My girlfriend's gotta have it. She's a gold digger, now figured out it's over. Pull the trigger, future state is staring wet. Saving time, no money spent. Look around at all I see. No good, bad, and ugly. Now she's on and fixed to be the future. Ain't this time of rain. She likes to shake her ass. She climbs her to the beat. She likes to pull my hair when I make her gravity. I like to strip her down. She's 90 to the edge. You know what she is, no doubt about it. She's
Right on, brother.
I didn't mute my mic. I hope that didn't mess things up.
No, I didn't even notice it, to be honest.
Well, the reason is because I got my computer dialed back in, and normally that would have been the kiss of death I'd have had clipping. But I didn't hear any, so if there was, it was quite small. I hope you guys enjoyed that. We play guitar around here, and I really appreciate when Ben lets me come on here and do a little rocking. You know, this is what the whole point of all this shit we do is for, right here.
It's a very short list of anyone that's ever played guitar on this channel, other than myself. And I'm thinking it's pretty much you, Sean Pierce Johnson, and Pete Thorne.
I've heard that. I find that hard to believe, considering the amount of guitar players we have. Not that I'm calling anybody out, but in fact, I'm going to say it like this. The future right now with the way, like the OU812, my brothers over there, those guys, they have got the best guitar flipping tones of any guitar channel that I can imagine. Not only do I envy them, but I'm super proud of them. I think that the quality of that channel is unbelievably good. And
I tuned in for a bit today. Randy Price. He was doing Dawkins Dream Warriors, and his tones just matched perfectly for that song. And I was just like, holy crap. And you know what tone is dialed in well for a mix, Charles? Is when he played on its own without the music, and I went, ooh. You know, the tone is not on point solo, but it fits perfectly into the mix. And I went, right, because if you sound good on your own, you're going to sound like shit in the mix. Because that's the world of tone.
He not only... Well,
frequencies for others.
It's easy for me to go down rabbit holes about Randy. Very easy, because he knows how to dial in an amp. He knows how to dial an amp in. He knows what real tones should sound like. He's a professional musician. I mean, he is a professional musician. We're blessed to even have him in our world right here. The knowledge that he brings, along with all the other guys on his channel, on Ryan's channel, is amazing. I mean,
wow.
If you just what are we at here? What's this?
All right. Anything goes awesome. You never have guessed you've only been playing guitar for 3 weeks. Natural talent and you're a fast learner. All that practice on Nintendo Wii Guitar Hero paid off. Love you, brother.
I'm telling you what, man. Just apply yourself. Close your eyes and dream big, brother.
And I want to shout out Unfucking Believable. Thank you for the donation to the tip jar for the new pick fund. That's right. The year's almost over, and this pick, I'm not doing it again next year, Charles. 2 years in a row, I've done the one pick challenge. I used the same pick for an entire year, and it's starting to wear down.
Oh no! See, so I use a brass pick, Ben, and I will sharpen it a little bit every month or so. But that pick right there, I have used for 1 year.
That's last year.
A year. How many picks you gone through in a year? A year. And if the tip gets a little messed up, you see how sharp that is?
Yep.
If it gets a little messed up, I can just hone it down on like a
I tried using
fretstones. I use a fretstone.
I tried using a metal pick. The strings lasted 3 minutes.
So with a metal pick, you don't have to hit them as hard. Now I'm brutal.
That's my problem.
Shit out of
it looked like they were diamond cut. You could see just all the chunks of the strings, and then I just sheared through the high E in no time.
So the 3 top round wound strings on standard strings, they are susceptible to get frayed if you are too aggressive. I've been playing like the song I just played. There's a couple of really heavy pick scrapes that I'm not doing right now because the strings are coming apart from it. But if I were playing live, I got to tell you, the sound that I get, the hemorrhage, the particular scratch, it's like a chalkboard on steroids.
Yeah.
And the more, we all want to get weird sounds out of a guitar and make them squeal and hemorrhage. And at least I do. I mean, I choke that damn thing. You know what I'm saying? And it's just so much fun. So anyway, I would just want to say, thanks for having me, Ben. It's been wonderful, dude. I got to tell you what, man. I love hanging with you guys. Absolutely.
A little pick talk there. Richie, I think, did it on a couple of shows. We tried out some pedals live on air, Zach, way back.
Oh, by the way, all my brothers at the OU812, I haven't been communicating the last 4 hours. I got with my friend Mitch this morning for a little bit, and I went on a service call. I didn't get back until you guys were literally just about to finish, and I barely made it in here for Ben. So I miss you guys. I love you, and I will see you real soon.
Uncle Chris had asked, like, I don't know, 14 times already in the chat. We should have any experience with Ross Halfin. Speaking of photography, he asked a while ago.
No. There were a lot of photographers. I was blessed to be around a lot of guys who shot. I mean, photographers who shot for like People magazine and a lot of the rock magazines.
We have some breaking news here. Bo has contacted Engel Amps Custom Shop for them to build his first signature amp yesterday.
Oh, bro.
Is they
we're gonna have to hear all about that
last week, Charles. Yeah, apparently Engel has a custom shop where you can, made to measure amps. So, and he says effectively you can get your own signature amp made. And I went, that's cool. And I thought, okay, you're the man for that, Bo. And so yeah, I'd be curious to hear how that's going to sound.
Oh man, so many toys, so little cash. My God, man. I was real impressed with that the new Head First, the Head First amp. They were talking about it. They had a full showcase of it on the OU812 channel.
Yeah,
I'm real impressed with it. We're going to be hearing tones from that. You guys,
I assume John was using it today.
Yeah, I think he was, but I didn't get to hear any of it. I missed the damn show today. I got some catching up to do. That's cool. That's why we get to do this stuff and replay it and come back to it. Right. But I'm very anxious about the future. I've said it on my show. I'll say it again here. With the technology that is at our fingertips, it costs a little money to do it, but it's not ridiculous. It's not like you got to spend thousands of dollars to do this. Yeah, you got to spend a little money to do it. But
it's funny. I went the opposite. Like a lot of these guys have these expensive interfaces and this and that. I just have a cheap ass mic, but I got a shit ton of infrastructure behind me and on the floor to get into the simple USB mic. I went the other route, but yeah, I totally get, like, man, the tones I'm hearing these days, it's on point. And Steve Brand and Quentin, they got their show and they're just out there melting.
I love those guys. I absolutely love those guys, Ben. We have so much talent in this community. I know I sound like a broken record, but I can't help it. Pointing out the positive from all of this that we do here is overwhelming. It really is.
Raised tide or something, because we've got everything from your bedroom player to like someone, let's say like our good friend Simon Hosford, who, come on,
one of the greatest guitar players on the planet Earth.
I know, right? And he's like, no, we're all same. We're all just one of us.
That's what Tommy Emmanuel said about him.
Yep.
I paraphrasing. I may not have got the wording exactly right, but I was in the ballpark, and that's a good ballpark to be in. Whether you can play guitar, you want to play guitar, if you and I reach this out to you guys right now, I will make a backing track for you. I don't care what your band is, as long as it's music. You're passionate about it, and I hope it's rock, please. But if that's your thing, get with me. Just send me a message. Go to Ben. You guys can find me. Everybody knows me. And I will make you a backing track for your band. Bachman Turner Overdrives, Creedence Clearwater Revival, Judas Priest, Metallica. No, I don't know. Metallica is a little iffy because
Triumph song, Charles. I know one of your favorite bands. Because I had Jim and Bo's been asking me for ages to play some Triumph, so we're starting work and Fight the Good Fight. So
good. So if you need a backing track, get a hold of me.
And that's the one thing I'm not set up for. Like, I'll have to get the infrastructure to work with the backing track. But see, I had thought about doing backing tracks a few years ago, Charles, and I was thinking I might just do it my way. The way I'm set up with the amps and the mic is I have a PA system that I could play essentially a backing track through the PA in here as well and play along with it. So it's all,
Well, having the backing track is good because, number one, I'm going to say it like this. I was playing to karaoke, and I'm not knocking it. Anything you've got to operate your guitar and to give you that vibe. I used to cue up specific drum tracks, just a 4/4 drum beat rock at a specific speed, and that's how I learned how to play lead guitar. I would play it to the drums, and then I'd find one that had bass involved. You know, I'd start working with it. And
I
was
did
jamming
YouTube backing tracks years ago. Like, you know, if I blues in A minor, I would just noodle in the A minor pentatonic over this 8-minute backing track. So that way, when I showed up at band practice the next week, because I knew, now I'm doing the third solo in Whipping Post, which is an A minor. Okay, and then they're like, "Wow, you were woodshedding." I was like, "Well, I don't want to look like a fool on stage, so."
Excellent. But what I'm saying is this: if you're doing a song by Bachman Turner Overdrive, your backing track will be you jamming with Bachman Turner Overdrive. I'll pull Randy out.
Ooh.
Okay.
For
instance, Guitar Hat.
We leave Randy in and we pull out his brother. No,
you can do whatever. I'll pull whoever you want, but it's just got to be the right instrument. And I'll put it that way. But I'll give you a really good backing track, and that'll give you the ability to sound and enjoy the experience. You know,
and you don't know until you deep dive BTO how many great songs.
Oh, dude, you can rock, and you know,
like
BTO
something like
songs,
"Give Me Your Money, Please." Great rocking track.
Absolutely, and the solo work is improvise. You can improvise. You can put your own solo work in them.
Ryan did comment on one of my videos this morning, so he was around this morning. He's probably busy with his mother.
Oh, by the way, Edward Nugent, I saw that about that. So the Spirit guitar, that's absolutely badass. Yeah. I love the vibe. I love everything about it. Everything about it.
I've known about that guitar since the start, Ed, and that's how. See, because he's like, so Charles tells me one night, we're hanging out, and he's like, so my brother Ed wants a build, and I said, okay. And he's a patriotic individual, like, right. And that's where, when he eventually showed off the fabric, I said, I can hear Lee Greenwood just looking at that pattern. Because that was, but that's, and then, and I love how Ed backed me up by when Ed was on with Charles, and they're talking about it, and he said, well, we're doing the red, white, and blue binding, which immediately I would start calling that freedom binding,
Yes.
Right? And Ed's like, exactly, freedom binding, because it's the Freedom Caster. That was my nickname for it. But yeah, it's going to turn out awesome, Ed. And Charles,
it's fantastic.
Charles does everything. What's up, Laz?
Yeah, Laz. Yeah, dude, man, it's good. Merry Christmas, Laz. Happy holidays. Whatever everyone celebrates here, I just want to wish you guys a good holiday season. Love somebody. I want you guys to do something nice for someone this season for no reason whatsoever, just for the heck of it. You'll feel better. And so will they. Right on.
Zach saw Ryan earlier today in another chat. There we go. Is Steely Dan taboo? Nobody mentioned Steely Dan. Yeah, you got to watch. I think they're one of those bands like the Eagles. Like,
I haven't.
Because like certain songs, even if you're demonetized, certain songs, it's like nope, global block. Like you're
gotta watch
done.
On covers too. Covers. I love that song. "Boys of Summer" by the Eagles, right? By Glenn Frey.
Right.
Might as well be the freaking Eagles. And Ataris did a cover of it.
Right.
I love that song. I do my own solo in that song. That song rocks, kicks ass. I couldn't even download the song onto my StreamYard, and you go through the 3 check marks to at least know that you can't be monetized, but they're okay.
Yeah.
It did not give me 1 check mark. It gave me a triangle with a red big exclamation point. Wouldn't even let me move forward.
Yeah.
So you got to watch. That's why I do the shows I do, where I just come on and play 3 songs.
I had to laugh last week, and I can't remember who it was, and it could have been just as a joke, but somebody actually requested Hotel California. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's like the top of the list.
It
and
is.
Yes, and the reason why we like Boys of Summer is because it was actually written by Mike Campbell.
Yeah. Yeah. Don Henley. I'm sorry. What did I say? Glenn Fry? I'm so sorry. Stupid me. Don Henley.
Yeah.
Right on fucking believable. Thank you. But yeah, there's you got to watch out for cover songs as well.
Yeah, you don't mess with the Eagles, aka Don Henley. You don't mess with the Prince Estate.
AC/DC.
I get away with AC/DC when I play.
Do you really? Was okay. So okay. I
but
can
not
do
go back to
AC/DC.
track.
Well, okay. Well, okay. I went on Ryan's show. I played Guns for Hire. It's one of the best songs I've ever played on his channel.
That's
in my
a great
opinion.
song too, Charles.
He got an immediate worldwide copyright strike. And it's my understanding that for some reason in Calgary, Canada, not only did he get the copyright strike, but all the traffic signals were flashing uncontrollably for like 3 days. I don't know. May or may not have been a connected incident.
Probably.
But you can't get away with live AC/DC live. And so if you're playing to an AC/DC backing track, which I did, and what I did was I took Malcolm's part because it was the most fun. I let his brother handle the lead because, well, he was qualified. And so...
Well, plus nobody solos like Angus, Charles. Like
I gotta tell you, it was such a great experience to play that song on YouTube with AC/DC. Yeah. I'm hooked on this shit, you guys.
Well,
so I do the test.
Let's be honest, that is a forgotten gem of the 80s catalog. Yeah. Guns for Hire. That's... If you haven't heard it in a minute, go. There's a music video for it and everything.
Flick of the Switch. Flick of the Switch is the album. It's got some really wonderful AC/DC songs. Really great backbeat. I'm sorry, Fly on the Wall. Flick of the Switch is the other song I was trying to pull up. It's a picture of a fly on a electric switch, and one of the songs on the album is Flick of the Switch. No, it's Flick of the Switch. There's a fly on the wall, but it's on the switch. You don't want to touch the switch because there's a fly on it.
Guns for Hire. I thought Guns for Hire opened side 2 of Fly on the Wall.
Excuse me. I could be wrong. You could be totally right.
Someone help. Which album is it on? Which is ironic that it is. Those are back-to-back releases too, Charles. Right? Like,
yes,
it could have been written during one
yes.
session and ended up on the.
They got so much shit for that album. They got massive shit for it.
Yeah.
And
Judas Priest, I cannot play. Judas Priest, I get dinged a lot.
So there's a bunch of bands that I haven't even. I play a lot of bands, but there's several I still haven't tried. I haven't come with any Poison yet. I haven't.
No, Terry, I disagree. Fly on the Wall. The problem with that album was, Charles, I was listening because when I set up my record player, one of the first albums I put on was Fly on the Wall. Everything has slapback delay on it. Everything. Right? And I'm like, what the fuck? Who produced this abomination? And I see, produced by Malcolm and Angus Young. I'm like, well, bless their hearts. They tried. It was
Fly on the Wall, Flick of the Switch. Yeah.
All right. So I had opening of side 2, but you had the right album. How about that?
Yeah. Wow. Well, anyway, so some of the most fun for guitar players. Look, guys, lead guitar is lead guitar, and we all want to shred, and we all want to this and that. But I'm going to say this.
What's up, Ted?
Some of the most fun that I have personally playing guitar and had for, because when you're learning to play guitar, lead guitar is the thing that you start working on, but you got to learn how to play rhythm. You got to learn how to do certain dynamics. You got to learn where your chords are. You got to learn a whole lot of stuff.
I always say, Charles, the lead is merely 18 seconds of a 3-minute song.
Thank you. And if the rhythm guitar player sounds like crap, your lead will not save the song.
Yeah.
Okay. And so learning the dynamic of how to play, one of the first things I was proud of playing guitar was playing Malcolm Young rhythm. It sounded horrible when I first started doing it. Going between the A, the D, the G, C variation, and an E, and going back and forth between all the stuff. He worked those 4 fucking chords to death in every variation you think of. And it is so much fun to play those songs. So live on YouTube StreamYard, I've stayed away from that. I also can't go near Firehouse to save my life.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I know on our last show that you did play on, Dirty Honey did make a claim.
Did they really?
Oh, yeah. But
so
I was like,
it was just a claim. So they want the money that you got if you got any money.
Right.
You're doing them a favor.
And I was already debating demonetizing both Sundays and Mondays.
Coming up and doing songs on my channel, the way I look at it, if I were trying to make money or get something from them for using their music, other than simply putting their music out there and keeping it alive and enjoying it with all of you.
Yeah, like I was okay with revenue sharing. Just don't block me over it.
Well, that's the thing. If we could come in here randomly, and if all the bands, because I've played 30 different cover tunes from straight up bands, none of them have been karaoke. They've all been backing tracks off of albums, live or studio, and I had to do some tests, and I've only had, knock on wood, one worldwide copyright strike. It was the one I was talking about was on Ryan's channel, so I don't catch that one. But was from
also you're more likely to get away with doing a live track too. That's how the people that do these reaction videos and stuff get away with it. Because if you do the live track, that's not the copywritten blah 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 blah. Unless it's off a live album, that's not the same. Because a live album, Charles, is still a produced. Published entity, we'll call it, right?
Yeah, it's live.
If you find, let's say, Tesla doing Love Song live in Chattanooga, Tennessee last summer, and somebody just got the best audio quality on their phone recording, and you snag that audio and pull Jeff Hannon out of there, and then do your thing.
Yeah, interesting. But. I forgot what I was going to say. I was going to say something about it. Damn, I lost my train of thought listening to you, Ben. It happens. It happens. Shit. But anyway, we want to play through real backing tracks. We want to have the experience of. I mean, if I'm, I remember what it was. Queensryche is a band that I can play that I haven't done yet live. I'm going to do them. We've got Aerosmith coming. I'm going to do actually I got to do a sound test for Aerosmith. We've got a bunch of bands. And
by the way, Terry's been putting the link to Charles' channel in the chat if you haven't figured it out already. Make sure to subscribe and check it out.
Alice
Friday night.
Cooper. Yeah. Friday night, 10 o'clock.
Eastern.
Me and Mitch, man, we're having fun. And by the way, shout out to my partner Mitch, man. I love you, brother. Yeah, we just want to make sure that whatever we're bringing out here is going to fly. So I'll do tests arbitrarily where I bring like 3-4 songs out. I'll come live. I'll play them the real. I'll go through Reaper. I'll just play the audio track from the album. If I test it first, then I play it. If it flies, then you can expect it to be on an upcoming show, either me playing it or one of like Ben or one of our brothers out there. Somebody's either requesting.
And the nice thing too is as you come up with your, let's say your own playlist, it becomes like just playing in a band. You build a set list out, and then you can pick and choose. I'm not feeling like doing that song tonight. Let's try this song instead. Let's do this instead of that. And which is great.
Operation Mindcrime has got some of the. I just caught Queensryche last time they came through here. I have it all on video. That was just a few months ago. I've always been a Queensryche fan. A big Jeff Tate. I remember Jeff Tate back in the day when he had his original voice. Nobody could sing like Jeff Tate. It was a jaw-dropping moment in my life when I heard Queensryche do Operation Mindcrime. Actually, they did the album before that. Mindcrime hadn't come out yet, but they were doing songs like Jet City Woman. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going down a rabbit hole.
Silva says any set list should be made by me, the live guy. No, not necessarily. Because sometimes I've had people make set lists. I'm like, do you realize like I'm switching tunings 3 songs in a row? Or, or switching guitars. Like we would do, for instance, Rich had an electric 12 string in the last band, Charles. So we'd use it 3 songs out of a set, 2 of the 3 sets. He'll use it 3 songs, but we put those 3 songs together. So it'd be a little little interlude, 3 songs involving it, and then you can put it down, and then next set, grab it, what have you. Or I would be playing in open G because I'd be playing slide in a couple of songs. Well, I don't want to do that. And then, gotta switch back to standard 2. Oh, switch back to, no, let's just put them together,
Excellent, brother. Excellent, man.
Yeah. So,
well, look,
that's why we don't let lead singers make the set list.
Look, geez, man, I'll tell you who I miss.
The compromise.
Oh God, I can't think of his name off the top of my head right now. I've really been enjoying old school Rainbow lately.
Ooh.
I used the song "Lost in Hollywood" to open all of my shows. Every time I've actually been lost in Hollywood on more than one occasion. They're all great stories. Every one of them is I told you guys a Motley Crue one where me and Robin and the boys had a show. We went to this hotel, that old school hotel, and we were throwing the peanut M&Ms in the pool. The floaty ring for the lifeguard was floating in the pool, and we were chucking them off the balcony. I love having memories like that come back into my mind. I think about them all the time. Sure. We have a history going on here, you guys. We'll come back to good stories and stuff as they come up, and I look forward to sharing them with you guys. The future, I said it earlier, with gear, YouTube, this community, everything, guitars in general. This is Graham Bonnet, by the way, was who I was thinking of, Mike. Thank you for writing that. I get Graham Bonnet, Joe Lynn Turner, and Ronnie Dio. I never forget Ronnie. But for some reason, Joe Lynn Turner and Graham Bonnet's name elude me when I'm thinking of them, looking at their face. They're singing the damn song, and I forget their flipping name. But I saw them all live. I saw every variation of those 3 of Rainbow back in the day. Wow. The best was Ronnie Dio doing Rainbow with the Rainbow.
Sure.
Kill the King, coming out Rainbow live on stage, playing that set list. Wow, that was unbelievable. But Graham Bonnet was extra special. His voice was extra special. He reminded me a lot. I've said it before. He reminded me a lot of Kevin Dubrow in his raw power. And when he sings, he doesn't have a pretty voice, but he's got a voice that demands you notice it. You're like, whoa, it's got this ambient quality. Yeah. Good old days, guys.
Nice.
Shit.
Well, there we go. Maybe we should wrap it up on that note, and then we'll be doing this again early in the new year because that's how that works. Some housekeeping. We're somewhat, excuse me, I'm losing my voice. The rest of the year going forward, we're kind of going on hiatus for the Sunday Night Hang. And by that, you mean there's no show? No, there's still a live stream. It's just going to be me and Trev hanging out. It's just the staff running things, Charles. We're not booking a guest. It's just the staff, basically. So Trev and me will be here, probably having an edible adventure next weekend.
Videotape the whole thing and send it to me so I can enjoy it, please. Yeah. That's all I'm asking.
And then, we'll do that the next 2 weeks to round out the year, and then we got some guests already in the works for the new year. It's gonna be crazy. I'll be back tomorrow night with Connects with Guitars, playing live tunes. Brian there, searching for tone. Check him out, folks. Guy though, when he mentions the Monday show, he just mentions the bad album covers. Doesn't mention that I play. I think he mutes me while I'm actually playing guitar. And then he's always talking again. Unmute. And then, he's playing. Ooh, mute. No.
Awesome.
I don't know what guitar I'm playing tomorrow night. Some have some fresh strings on it. However, somebody, I'm not going to mention any names, but somebody's been requesting me play my vintage Kramer. You play.
Ooh.
Shots fired.
Right on, searching for tone. You rock, brother. Right on, man.
Brian's a good guy. He's doing
absolutely,
some cool
absolutely.
Live Wednesdays at 7. I try to catch him when I don't have a Water Buffalo meeting, which I got a Water Buffalo meeting this Wednesday at 7 as well. So
when is it? When's the next Water Buffalo? Hey, this by the way, you need Water Buffalo T-shirts.
I know.
You need them. You need them. If You need them. I'll buy one. I'll buy two. Hell, I'll buy one for somebody in the chat.
I'm
proud of the Water Buffaloes. They're a really, really, really special group.
The last meeting went dark.
You know what I'm talking about.
Last meeting was dark, though. We're not sure what happened there.
Well, it's real life, real time. We don't promise.
And it's funny. Out of a 3-hour hang, Charles, maybe 20 minutes can be guitar playing talk.
That's the beauty
we talk
of it.
About everything else in the world, and it's a great hang, and everybody has fun.
Talking about
I'm still waiting for the hats.
You're talking about the world with a Telecaster in your lap, though. There's nothing better. Nothing. Talk about being grounded. Yes,
nothing more honest than a Telecaster clean amp. I'll tell you that right now.
Right on, man.
And
right on.
So we'll see everybody tomorrow night, and then
right there, you guys.
Oh yeah, and we will have Charles with the bad album covers as well. Not this Charles, the other Charles.
Charles.
It's the other Charles. So oh my, and that's always disturbing. And so we'll see everyone tomorrow. Hold those doors open. Let Silva in ahead of you in traffic. He could be driving halfway across the country for a concert. We don't know.
He's a rocker.
He is. He is
a rocker.
Hardcore, more or less. So be good to each other. Happy tone chasing. Doug's wife is real, and of course, don't let her.